Yeah, so just obviously it's not actually called Duty Talk Title. It's about how, I know, sorry, disappointing. It's about how talent acquisition can disrupt HR. So if you want to hit the button, let's go for it. So there's no doubt that there's plenty of good kind of HR professionals in the world. I work with some of them, but we've got to recognise that profession's sick and not in a good way. It's got a problem, and before we kind of look into a diagnosis, I want to try and help you all understand what I think is going on. So HR is really slow. Like that creates a problem for us in-house people. It's one of our key allies is really slow. It makes all our kind of decision making very difficult, and our job just a hell of a lot more difficult in all its entirety. Part of that slowness is because in many cases these days, like all these old school HR folk spend all of their time trying to justify why they exist. They're too busy telling everybody that they do 87 different things at once rather than trying to add any actual true value to a business. And that means that they're too internally focused. They don't have time to understand or inform business decisions. They don't understand the external market. And all too often, they don't even necessarily want to know about it. So what do these behaviours actually result in? It means that after a few years in recruitment and being the age of 33, I actually look like Philip Schofield. But not only that, it's damaging our employer brands, it's damaging our company culture, and in a high-paced, candidate-driven market, it's damaging the future of our workforces as well. So what that means is that talent acquisition teams are in a unique position to be a heartbeat for an organisation. Too often I hear that people in our industry don't feel they've got a seat at the top table, but you don't get a seat at the top table, you have to prove your worth to get there. We're in a unique position where we've got more data at our fingertips than ever before. The future of the workforce has never been hotter, and as a result, we've got instant access to global surveys like this one from Boston Consulting, and we can show HR and business leaders the very core of our talent markets and the modern workforce that we're trying to recruit for. From personal experience, I'm also very commercial. And I know that other people in the room will be the same way. And what we can do is also take this data and drive genuine insight and drive real commercial impact back into the business in a way that HR can't. And so the recruitment sectors are like with technology too. We've heard all about it tonight. Innovation is really kind of at the front of our industry at the moment. And we need to be using that as an enabler across all of our businesses. Teaching HR about all these great tools we've got to improve candidate experience from that kind of very initial interaction all the way through to someone's an established and potentially kind of long-term employee. So how does all this mesh together? Apart from me telling you all how good talent acquisition is, obviously, but we need to know how does this disrupt behaviour, how can we challenge HR for the better, and ultimately what the prognosis is. Ulrich said himself that his infamous HR business partnering model doesn't work, and he actually blames HR themselves for that. The irony is that recruitment have built an entire career on influencing and partnering. And imagine the power that we could actually bring to the table if we work together to combine that expertise. So a single flow of information.
Sometimes I think people are working against me.
I've still got that baseball bat.
Have you?
So a single flow of information from the external market through to our internal employee base would mean that we can really understand skill gaps better. It would mean that we could fill roles quicker using a kind of properly diverse, properly kind of inclusive talent pipeline. And what that means is, guess what? Like if we actually did that together, we'd spend more time doing impactful work. HR wouldn't have to do as much ER, we'd have better retention rates, and that would mean we don't have to do as much repetitive hiring, which means we could go and do more sexy project work ourselves. And ultimately, the end goal is a win-win situation. You know, if we hire great people, that means less work for everybody all around, but it also means that we both look good. And ultimately, if we continue to do this, then slowly and surely, we can start to improve the health of our sick HR colleagues. So, how does this give us our remedy? You know, what I want to finish off on is by focusing on the potential outcomes that talent acquisition professionals like ourselves can do by disrupting the HR behaviour and their ways of working. We all know that the hiring landscape's changing. We've heard about it a lot tonight. We've got excellent AI, automation, talent pipelining, companies driving innovation in how we go to market. But the internal voice of the employee, EVP, employer brand, that's never been stronger, and it's really important and really key to the future. And that's because people want to care about where they work. You know, just look at Glassdoor. You know, we regularly see people who are really proud for working at Collinson where I am, but also really proud to work at other companies, but equally there's lots of people that aren't. And I think if we can really start to understand that, then we will be able to kind of get a better heartbeat and partnership that enables both elements to work well together. By blending these ways of working, HR and talent can put hiring as a #1 priority. You know, all the research shows that trying to kind of replace a lost employee can cost upwards of £40,000, and obviously in a big and scalable company, that cost is humongous. And we need to remember that first impressions become lasting impressions. You never forget your first date or your first drink with the love of your life, and we need to treat candidate, employee, and employer experience exactly the same way. And so what we should be doing really is playing a leading role in transforming the hearts and minds of both the HR people and our kind of business leaders that we're working with by doing the right thing in the right way with the right tools and the right processes. And that's my duty talk title. Thanks very much.
Yeah.